This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB. Today in the arena, Brawl with BELEDROS WITHERBLOOM. It's black, it's green, it has flaps, it's 7 mana. She's a 4/4, but for the low cost of 10 life, you get to untap all lands you control and activate this ability only once each turn. At the beginning of each upkeep, you get a 1/1 black and green pest token with when this creature dies, you gain 1 life. It's the last of our Elder Dragon cycle, but the deck is more powerful than you may have really imagined, and certainly overperformed compared to my expectations, which were that this is a big, cute, janky card, but what's the point in untapping all my lands if I can't cast a counter spell? That's just what a blue mage I am. But BELEDROS blew those expectations away because you can do some really powerful things with a lot of mana. At the core, this is a ramp deck and a control deck. You do have to keep your opponent from doing their busted stuff because your busted stuff is a bit slower than their busted stuff. Even if you cast 2 ramp spells and cast BELEDROS and do awesome things, opponents can pop off much earlier using cards like Galazeth Prismari and Isika, God of the Tree, to do nutty things that make your BELEDROS much weaker. To keep that from happening, we have a pile of various interaction and removal cards. Bloodchief's Thirst. Things that hit a creature or planeswalker are at a premium, and the fact that this one can be cast for cheap is very important too, as we don't have many cheap cards in the deck. Wilt, blow up an artifact or enchantment, namely the Prismatic Bridge, or take out an artifact like a Signet, but it does cycle if you don't have a target. WITHERBLOOM Command. This gets you a land out of the graveyard potentially, but it's really all about destroying those 2 mana value or less non-creature, non-land permanents like Arcane Signet and Tome of Legends. Polaka Predation, often played as a land, but can take a key card out of the opponent's hand. Soul Shatter hits creatures or planeswalkers, which makes it pretty good. And then Thrashing Brontodon to blow up artifacts and enchantments, which can be a pain in the butt. Baleful Mastery, creatures or planeswalkers, makes it pretty good. Always has a commander. Every deck has a commander. Binding the Old Gods. That shouldn't surprise you. It ramps as well as kills things. Pretty awesome card. And then Culling Ritual. This is a fun one. There's actually a lot of non-land permanents with mana value 2 or less, whether they're tokens, stuff from our own deck. We talked about Arcane Signet and other cheap ramp cards. Culling Ritual hits them, adds mana to your mana pool, so you can do pretty silly things. And a Shadow's Verdict. It can hit little cheap cards if somebody's playing those. It's good to have one of these in your deck to tutor up when you need it. The next pile is ramp cards to help us hit 7 mana and play the WITHERBLOOM before our life total is too low. So Gilded Goose also helps us rebuild our life total, so it's a hit. Florahedron, Wolfwillow Haven, Arcane Signet in every Brawl deck, please. Cultivate, Llanowar Visionary, Migration Path, Vastwood Surge, Solemn Simulacrum. There's also another one that I think got hidden over here, Verdant Mastery. There it is, got into the wrong pile. And this is like a bad Migration Path in a way, but it's worth it in this deck. Giving your opponent a land because you're about to generate double mana with your WITHERBLOOM, it's fine. And then selection and card draw, we've got Once Upon a Time, Maze Mind Tome, Tome of Legends, Grim Tutor, because when you have a ton of mana, Grim Tutor is not that bad. You get to really dig through your deck, get the right thing, and play it in the same turn thanks to your dragon. That's nice. And the recovery to get back something that went to the graveyard. And then what I call the payoffs. Once you have all this mana, what do you do with it? Pelucranos can come down and fight stuff on the same turn. Return of the Wild Speaker can draw a ton of cards. Draw cards equal to the Gray's power among non-human creatures you control is most often used, but the +3/+3 on your pests is not to be underestimated. Elder Gargaroth. I think we know that this card is a heck of a card at this point. And then Burning Rune Demon lets you go into the deck. Often we get some combination of like Great Henge, Return of the Wild Speaker, some card advantage source so we don't run out of things to do. Professor Onyx also keeps us from running out of things to do while also hitting creatures and digging through the deck, having Magecraft. Lots of good uses for the Professor here. Vorinclex makes all of our Planeswalkers and counter cards doubly good and is a very, very fun card to play off all that mana. Kogla the Ape Titan is another one that can completely shift the balance of the game by killing something. Garruk the Cursed Huntsman is another one that's really fun to play, remove something, and draw. Having a Planeswalker and a dragon on the field is really nice. Harness Infinity. Get your whole graveyard back. Do it all again. I love it. Ugin the Spirit Dragon shouldn't surprise you. The Great Henge. Normally in a standard deck, we wouldn't play the Great Henge unless we had a lot of very huge creatures. We don't have that many in this deck, but your commander is a huge creature. And if your commander is a huge creature that also untaps your lands and generates mana when it comes into play, you know that you'll always have a pretty convenient way to cast the Great Henge. Plus, you want that life just to rebuild. So, Great Henge still makes the cut in this deck, although it doesn't look like the typical Great Henge deck. In the mana base, we have the castles, we've got the temple and the snarl and the pathway. I also have a Bonder's Enclave. I think I'm going to start running one Enclave in any deck where my commander is a creature with 4 power or greater, just as another engine to draw more cards, if I need them. Evolving Wilds makes the cut because of WITHERBLOOM command. Sometimes you want to get a land out of the graveyard, also slightly good with Harness Infinity, getting cards back from the graveyard, but mostly for WITHERBLOOM command. So that's the deck. The deck does overperform. I think you're going to like it, so make sure you check out the videos and stay till the end. Today's video is dedicated to Nicholas Laudadio. Thank you very much for hitting the join button below and getting those sweet benefits. As a member of the Cool Kids Club, you get access to my deck lists a day early. You get access to ad-free VODs from Twitch posted on YouTube, so you can use your favorite features like 2x speed. Features. You'd think I'd be good at this. Anyway, you also get the chance, the opportunity, which Nicholas here has seized, of getting a cosmetic and video dedicated to you. So today we're going to pick up, what will it be? What is a sweet cosmetic from this particular set of cards that we see before us? I really should have the Gargaroth. So Nicholas, Elder Gargaroth, dedicated to you. Now, everybody, we've done the task. We've introduced the cards, the cast of the show. It's time to dive in and let the nonsense begin. Squirrel! I have to fight Toski. Dragon versus Squirrel. Epic showdown. What more could you ask for? Plenty of ramp in this hand. It's a pretty easy keep. No interaction, but what's interaction? This is Brawl. Our opponent's probably going to play a bunch of cheap, very obnoxious things, but who cares? Garrick's a pretty good one. A few nice double spells lining up with BELEDROS. Scavenging Ooze on the battlefield. Let's go fetch a swamp. Alright, once upon a time, since we're about to play our first spell of the game, which land do we like? The dual land? The ramp land? I don't think we need the ramp land. We'll fix colors. Vorinclex, Garrick, BELEDROS. Should be an exciting couple of turns. Our opponent's no slouch here either. They put a counter on their Oran Reef Ooze so they can attack and keep making it a larger ooze. Does put them in a bit of a bind against the Solemn. I think my plan to slow that ooze down is going to be to play Vorinclex next turn. And then the turn after that, BELEDROS, Garrick, nonsense. Here's Toski. Just you. Cool. I'll block. You don't draw. I get to draw a card. We're like one more land away from getting to do all our deck could ever want to do. That works. Let's see if they have a solution for Big Klexi. Oh my gosh, next turn could be so exciting. They play a troll. Toski attacks. Yep, I will block that. Good old mono green. Can't kill anything. Oh no! Oh no! Alright, BELEDROS. It is time to go off. Untap them. Henge. Garrick. -6. Emblem. Down with the thickness. No attacks, your turn. It's just the beginning. 4/4 pests. Mono green, you've got to do something impressive. Now is the time to rise up. Now is the time to do something amazing. Stone Coil Serpent. That ain't it. It's only a 3/3 because of boring class. That ain't it, Chief. I was gonna pay 10 life to wilt it just because I can. And then Ugin. Green-black versus green-black. The Shovel. Think we'll be okay against Shovel. Kind of unfortunate, though. We did get a Goose, which is exactly the kind of thing I think Shovel would love to kill. So, not sure how we're gonna manage that. Like, if I turn one Goose and they turn two Shovel, and then the next turn they put a counter on it, I didn't do much. That said, I mean, we could hope they don't Shovel next turn, which makes the Goose better. But I don't think it's worth it. I think we just have to play it. Maybe the opponent is scared and bolts the bird. Maybe they just kill it right away instead of playing Shovel. They play Finn instead. What? What? On the bright side, our hand is ramptastic. Absolutely ramptastic. And we got to use our Goose before it died. Oh, Ugin's coming. You're not going to want to be here when Ugin shows up. Shovel arrives. Finn injects the poison. There's a good amount of poison on tap for next turn as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4. So, we can't... Actually, we can castle, but we can't do anything with it, right? We could just activate the Goose, play the Florahedron. It's not very impressive. So let's dig. Get those lands. Get set up for Ugin. Probably chump blocking away the Goose this turn. Sad but true. That poison gets nasty. Our opponent finds a Signet. We need an untapped land for our 8th mana, actually, for the Ugin. Should have played the Florahedron last turn. Looks like a bit of an oops. Alright, do we block now because we can and avoid some of this poison? Because we could just die next turn. I know it sucks to give the opponent a card, but I think we have to. Otherwise, we're just dead to a removal spell before we even get to play the Ugin. There you go. Alright, Beledros. Let's do this. I think we pay the life because we're up against poison, so let's untap. And let's Ugin. Boom. Boom. Goodbye, Wolf Willow Haven. You served me well. Opponent's cards. What? No, just... No. No, thank you. It is a feature of MTG Assistant that you can see cards that your opponent's revealed and it builds out their deck for you, but I don't like it. Something about it just takes up too much space on screen. My face takes up enough space. You don't need to deal with other nonsense as well. Someone out there is saying the solution is to just hide my face. Guys, you know you love it. What would you do without my smug, punchable face to make fun of? You wouldn't know what to do with your day. Binding the Old Gods. Okay. What are you gonna hit? The Ugin? The Ugin. Beledros gets to live. Alright, well, I will continue to inflate my pest army, and let's Vastwood Surge. Black on green. Pump Squad. Smash. So we could pay, I'm not kidding, we could go to 2 and play the Tome and draw some cards here. I just don't think it's quite worth it. Let's just wait on that. I think that's asking a bit much. It could result in an even more powerful turn. But going to 2 to draw a card. It's a CGB move, but let's have some restraint today. Here comes Shovel, here comes Rabid Bite. Well, There goes my dragon. My dragon got bit by a human and died. How insulting is that? Kogla comes down, Kogla fights Shovel, Kogla dies. We can't make it indestructible without a human. I think we're just replaying you. You wanna mess with these pests? Huh? 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 Oh, look out. Their creatures gain death touch next turn. That's a joke. Shovel has death touch already. I'm going after my dragon, what do you know? You gonna bite my dragon again, buddy? You only got that double death touch till end of turn now, don't waste it. Easy, Murderous Rider. Well, at least you take 2 before you gain 3. Next objective, find some gas. Thankfully, we've got the tome. Our opponent still has 4 more cards in hand. Kogla's pretty good, but when everything they play seems to have death touch, Kogla doesn't look so hot. Oh, are we gonna fight some of my pests now? I guess it's just a matter of time till the pests take over the game. I'll have 1 life, please. Burning Rune Demon. Graveyard has Ugin. Ugin is good. So, what else can we get? We can get like a Vorinclex combination, but getting something that gets back the graveyard is pretty darn good. Let's get Return for all the cards it can draw. You know what? Let's get the Henge. There. Either way, we're going to get a lot of cards. Because that's how you have to beat a Shovel deck. They're going to have a lot of spot removal, and they get to draw 1 card with every spot removal bit. So you have to draw more cards than they do. You have to have way more cards than they have. Alright, I get a Return of the Wild Speaker, which I can't cast yet. But I have a Kogla that I can play, and I have a Dragon. So I'll get to cast it eventually. And it will get me good cards, yes. Yes, it will. Pelucranos. You want to fight my demon? Okay, so their spot removal is not great. I think they would have used an easier removal spell if they could. So, Kogla, when it enters the battlefield, it fights up to, so we can decline this fight. And we want to. Submit 0. So we can draw 7. Because Death Touch would kill Kogla. Yay, new hand. Yay. Cool. Let's Stone Rain our opponent. Good old classic Wiltery. Just take it. Just take it. All right. What do you know? The monkey might die. It's quite the graveyard I'm building. Quite the graveyard. Back for more. And Pelucranos is back for more. Guess what? Pelucranos is fighting again. Pelucranos just always getting in these fights. Yep. That Shovel just grinding, baby. Draw those cards, gain that life. Feels so good. But don't worry, your time will come. Let's thin out the deck and just keep moving towards more and more powerful plays. Garuk! Let's slice and dice. If you want that on the field, you're gonna have to pay more for it. You've been getting off easy. Pest Assault. Toski is here. Squirrel alert. First, Arowan Games. Okay. Good times. Good times at the games. How do I get these to die so that I can set this off? I don't have like a Plumb the Forbidden hidden in the deck or anything of that nature. We're at 13 though. We have 1 billion mana. This turn could be nonsense. All right, BELEDROS WITHERBLOOM in the house. Let's draw a card. Let's draw a card. Let's pay all the life to do it all again. Demonic, like, Grim Tutor, I could die. Destroy target non-land permanent. What if I blow up my own pest to gain 1 life so I can cast Grim Tutor to do what? That gains me a lot of life. I need like a Shadow Spear in this deck. That would actually be pretty spicy. Don't even know what I want to blow up or do here. I guess Soul Shatter gets your squirrel. Feels good. Binding gets your 1/1. Leaves you with nothing. 0 makes wolves. Attacks make damage. And this can draw a card. So we'll just hang on to it. Oh, opponents go into the grave. Okay. What you got? Another... We're bringing back Polukranos. Yes, yes. Why would we do anything else? There's enough damage here, though, if Polukranos fights BELEDROS, I think, to win. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... One life short. So we just have to find a way to move the Hydra. And try not to put Grim Tutor on the stack. It would go badly. It could be very bad. Okay, Hydra's not fighting. There, give me that. That belongs in my deck. All right, draw. Thrashing Buantodon. Well, forest, nice. I'm taking the spear with me. You lose. Good day, sir. You had to ante the spear. It's mine now. Oh, it's my Hydra. They don't gain life here because of the lifelink, or because this prevents the damage. Perish. Your 12/12 cannot stop your pain. Your moment of reckoning is nigh. Just take the damage. Okay. They have accepted the pain. God. I fight God now. Killian Ink Duelist is a cheap little commander who you can probably make a pretty interesting deck around. Either auras that get reduced cost to target Killian, or removal spells that get reduced cost when you target your opponent's creatures. So, very curious what's going to happen in this one. How aggressive will our opponent be? Oh, look, my hand. All right, easy keep. Opponent gave us a complete pregame rope experience. Let's see if it continues into the actual game. Whoa, Ginger Brute. Our opponent found the aggro. Culling Ritual is gonna be nice. Courtesy Evolving Wilds Crack, so they can take their turn. No priority passing from me. Don't you worry about a thing. I wouldn't take extra time. Boom, straight to the Duelist. here's a signet. How much cool stuff would you like to put on the battlefield? A seasoned hollow blade. Any other tricks? That is an annoying one. I guess we can Baleful Mastery it. The opponent might try to suit it up. Should we give them one more turn? Cast Baleful Mastery on the hollow blade, then cast the Culling Ritual? Attack of the Things. Master your Hollow Blade. It's an exile effect. Indestructibility will not save you. Opponent going up to 29 already. That lifelink is doing its work. Fencing Ace, keep it coming. Come on. Don't you have one more for me? Don't you have one more for me? No? Should we just play a Vorinclex? And keep slow rolling the Culling Ritual? No, let's save the Vorinclex. I will play this, though, to have options in the future. I'm going to try to play Pelucranos this turn. Destroy each non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less, black or green for each permanent destroyed. It will kill our Signet, which is sad, but it kills all of their creatures. We make all this sweet mana. Oh, you know what? We can Vorinclex too. We can also Vorinclex this turn. That's amazing. I missed that. Gosh, this is just cheating. That's not fair. That's messed up. Nice. Oh, wow. Okay, Culling Ritual. You have my attention. Go ahead, play your 2/2 lifelink Menace. Faith's Fetters. Well, can't attack or block, but activated abilities can't be activated, but the passive remains, and the passive says that's a big Hydra. That's a big Hydra. 12/12 without escaping. And next turn the Garruk can ultimate. Oh my goodness. Grim Tutor. Make it a good one. Probably like an epic downfall if you have it. Reading the Pelucranos. How does this work? Yeah, pacifism. Like a pacifism effect, I might just be fighting later, but you can't be taking too many 12 hits. The card is selected, but nothing is played. I'll go for the Cursed Huntsman, and I'll ultimate the Cursed Huntsman. Everybody get an extra +3/+3 and trample. Let's see how long you last against that. Well, they fetched something and didn't cast anything, so it must be a pretty big event here. Okay, they got Extinction Event. But Garruk remains. And Beledros is coming. I'll go to 7. To hit your hand and make sure you can't answer it. Doomscar. Nope. Ugin's a long ways away. And these pests alone put up a clock. Killian's back. Killian's being embraced by a demon. Get that demonic hug. Slice and dice. Garrick hits him with the axe.
Looks like you were
Command zone or... Roar. Somebody brought the twins. The Wonder Twins. That hand is good. Man, what's a Rowan Will deck look like? A control deck? That sounds like fun. Maybe I should build one of those. Mulligan, mulligan. You have the guts to take a 6-card hand and play a game of Magic. Honk honk. Three mana, not that impressive. So tome it up and goose in the face. Got ya. Completely pointless play. Epitome of CGB. Hold tome for cards. Pass turn. Having options available. Are we going to use the goose for mana? Are we going to draw? Anything could happen. Rowan is here. Rowan deals the damage. Let's take a card. Garrick. Found another land. So probably binding here. Could also soul shatter and draw, but we give up our food. Yeah, I think binding. Set back the planeswalker.
I picked a bad fight.
It ramps us. We have lots to do with lots of mana. Foretell and pass. Okay. Tick-tock. Let's get another black. What? Oh yeah, it only gets a forest. It's like, wait a minute. So, do we try to jam Vorinclex into 2 open mana? Do we try to jam BELEDROS? Let's go for the BELEDROS, the highest possible upside, and if they counter it, it's our commander. We get it back. Resolves. Love it. I untap my lands. Opponent with a Brazen Borrower. Cool. And it is. We untap, and now we have a choice. Vorinclex or Garrick? Vorinclex. Vorinclex plus Garrick is a combination. Not to mention Death Touch next turn on a Vorinclex, baby. Replication Ring? That won't get any counters. Haha. You'd have to get to turn 8 to pay off anyway, but it's still pretty funny. Also, Tome doesn't get counters while the Vorinclex is out, so... Wait, that's not true at all. It gets double. What? I'm so used to it being the opponent. Yeah, Tome Vorinclex is a bit of a nombo. Oopsie. All right, sue me. Go big or go home. Going to 4. You can't stop me. Oh, hold on. Oh, I should have tapped that for mana. Hinge. Garrick. Oh my lord. Destruction. Please don't burn me for 6. Goose attack. I guess I can gain life from the tome, right? So it's fine. Perfectly calculated. Exactly the way you draw it up. Everything exactly how you draw it up with the BELEDROS WITHERBLOOM. Dual strike, okay? Okay, what you gonna do? Storm's Wrath. Doesn't kill the Vorinclex. And I gain a life, so gotcha. Gotcha there. Good game. That was nonsense. That was absolute nonsense. Who's it gonna be? What challenger emerges from the darkness? It is Isika, the god of the tree, the planar bridge. Really one of the prismatic bridge, sorry. One of the end bosses of Brawl. Let's go. We have to draw some land. I'm a little bit worried about that. If we don't draw any lands, it's going to get ugly. But if we draw just a cultivate or like land in one of the ramp cards, this hand is amazing. If we draw one land, we can still, I don't know, Pelucranos. Haven, nice. That definitely works. No goose attack here, no cheeky goose attack. The pressure is on, okay? This is true gamer stuff. Path to the World Tree, nice. Good setup for the prismatic bridge. Get those colors right. We draw the path. We're gonna miss a land drop, but we're gonna hit a double land drop off the ramp spell, so we can't be disappointed. Three mana. All right, our opponent has a ramp card as well, so they can bridge next turn, and we actually don't have any solution for it. We have to draw a way to remove the bridge, or just horrific things could start happening. We've got a good amount of them, just haven't drawn them. All right, guys. Moment of truth. We can play Pelucranos. We can make a food so that we have 7 mana next turn to BELEDROS. But if they play bridge and then hit something devastating, it's just over, right? So how do we do this? I think we do play Pelucranos because they all apply similar pressure. I think that playing the Gargaroth is optimistic that the card we top deck next turn on the attack is so good that it solves our trouble. I think we're better off with a big BELEDROS turn. Whoa! They're going to Gigantha. Oh my gosh, that's a gift. They were nervous to play the bridge. I think they saw the way that I played it and said, maybe they have a Wilt, maybe they have this. They talked themselves out of the bridge. They played something I can Pelucranos fight, actually. But we're not doing that. Oh, I should have BELEDROS'd. I got way too excited over the Garrick. Alright, clock is real. But yeah, that was a BELEDROS turn. BELEDROS into Garrick. The bridge is here. Can we draw a solution? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Stop on the upkeep in case we see something we can fight with the Pelucranos. Alright. Don't do me dirty and Ugin me. Don't do it. And you get a pest. You get Phylath. Oh! That is fightable. That is a fightable. It's still going to make a whole bunch of plants. But the landfall says whenever a land enters the battlefield, they get to put 4 counters on a plant. They're going to fling Phylath at the BELEDROS. We could untap here, go to 5, have Harness Infinity open, which all it does here is draw some ramp spells. Not worth it. Not worth it. In fact, though, that can go to the graveyard. We can decline that. Also, the fact that they flung it means that the Pelucranos is still a 6/6. Elspeth conquers death. Ouch. The Gargaroth or the Garrick? The Garrick. So they must have a sweeper or something that they're planning to use. 1, 2, we can do 3 fights, which cuts down on their chump blockers, but not enough to really clear the way. So let's do this. Draw a card. Make it a good one. Wah wah. Chumpy chumps. The bridge stays in play. Opponent falls to 6 life. Let's see what they hit. Boom. Fabro Elder. Do we fight that? It has Summoning Sickness and it's a 5/5. Few options with that. I'm fighting it. Could be like Great Henge or something going on. Harness costs 2 more, so we can't play it now. Getting back BELEDROS looked really nice too, but there's nothing else really down there. I guess I shouldn't have fought and held up a very expensive Harness Infinity, because if they sweep the board, I'm really going to want to play it. Like, really badly. Path to the World Tree is going to kill a token. Gain 2, draw 2. Yeah, well, I put a counter on my Garrick. No, I don't. Not a real option. All right, let's make food. Let's use this mana. Let's fight this 1/1 to try to reduce our opponent's blocking potential. And my turn. Make it good. It's Command Tower. Epic. Fight off another plant and turn the critter sideways. Let's draw. Make it good. That's a lot of land in a row. I'm starting to tilt. It's gonna leave you dead though. Inched over the finish line. And we are back for the post-game wrap, and as I finish up my tour of the Elder Dragon Commanders, BELEDROS did overperform, and the deck has a lot of very powerful potential. I think that if you're more disciplined with mulligans and only keep hands that ramp and do very powerful things, your results might be even better than mine. I really enjoy some of the more powerful Timmy cards in the deck, like Harness Infinity, Vorinclex, and Planeswalker's Burning Rune Demon. These cards were really a lot more fun than I expected them to be. And Grim Tutor actually performed just fine as well, a card I don't usually play. In a deck full of one-ofs that really needs things to come together and has a few specific answers in the deck, the Tutor, along with the free mana from WITHERBLOOM, really kind of really worked. When I say free, it's not totally free. Watch out for your life total. That's the best advice I can give you playing the deck. But a thing I don't recommend is filling the deck up with spot removal. I don't think Eliminates and Heartless Axe are what you want to be doing with your free mana. I think what you want to do when you untap your lands after you ramp to a bunch of mana is the overpowered stuff. I think this is a Timmy deck through and through, and the best way to play it is to embrace that fact. So I hope that you enjoyed this series of the Elder Dragons in Brawl. Let me know what you think of the Brawl content. Leave me a comment below. It means a lot to me, helps the algorithm a bit, especially if it's a unique comment that tells me about like what your favorite cards were that we got to play. What's your favorite Elder Dragon deck? Things of that nature. A little personalized comment goes a long way. Hit the like button, consider hitting subscribe, and please hit the join button if you would like to support the channel by becoming a Cool Kids Club member. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. You're cool.